friends, I have a quick health update. This might be a little bit of a longer post, so if you don't have time to sit down and listen to it right now, make sure to save it and come back to it later because you're not going to want to miss it. Okay, so I'm going into my 40s, just turned 40 last month, and with that comes a whole host of things that I'm trying to take care of. Namely, right now, it's my hormone health. I have a history of endometriosis and polycystic ovarian syndrome. I wish I could go into detail with those, but I've tried talking about it, and it takes me 10 minutes to talk about it in a short way. It's just, there's too much information. So long story short, I was diagnosed with endometriosis when I was in my early 20s and was lucky enough to find a world-renowned surgeon to do excision surgery on my endometriosis and completely take it out. I consider myself extremely lucky to have been able to have that surgery, and if I was ever to be invited onto a podcast, endometriosis is what I would want to talk about. The other thing I've struggled with is something called polycystic ovarian syndrome, and that is a hormone imbalance issue that affects women, and namely it affects your fertility. So I struggled with ovulation, and I experienced 2 miscarriages before having my son, and that is something I've written about quite a bit on my blog, so if you want to go check it out, ConfessionsofanAnxiousMom.com. So with my history of those 2 issues, I want to make sure that I'm doing a really good job taking care of myself as I go into my 40s and I start experiencing perimenopause. Some symptoms that I've been dealing with for the past, I would say, 4 years have been really just sort of brushed off by my doctors, and I am not new to being gaslit by the medical community. And being a mom and having 2 young kids means that I have put my health on the back burner. So I finally got myself set up with a functional medicine doctor who is taking a deep look at all of my hormone levels, my thyroid, everything. I got my blood results back this week and they were really enlightening. Number 1, I have extremely low testosterone, which is fascinating because somebody with PCOS typically has higher levels. And I am so relieved to have gotten those results because now all of my symptoms make sense. Here are my symptoms. 1, I have no libido, and if that's TMI, it's TMI. It needs to be talked about. I haven't had a libido since I had my daughter, so it's been almost 8 years, and it's gotten significantly worse over the last 3 years. I always chalked it up to being a new mom, having anxiety and depression, the pandemic, feeling bad about my body, all of these things. And yeah, those are important things to talk about because those are things that can really get us down, but that's not the crux of it. 2, I've lost a lot of my muscle mass over the years, and I chalk that up to just getting older, but testosterone has a lot to do with women being able to build and maintain muscle mass. 3, it's been extremely difficult for me to maintain a healthy body weight ever since I had my kids. And again, I just chalk that up to having kids, getting older, your body changing, and all of that. But this diagnosis of having really low testosterone makes a lot of sense. I'm pretty sure I just saw a guy at Whole Foods getting high in the bushes. So if I'm going to leave you with anything, it's these 2 things. Number 1, be your number 1 advocate. Do not settle for no. Do not settle for you are fine. If you know in your gut that you are not fine, you keep fighting. You find a different doctor. You keep going until you find somebody who will listen to you, who will do the right tests, and who will help you figure out what's going on. And 2, if you are a woman, you should have your testosterone checked. We all need to have full hormone panels, and I don't know why this isn't part of our regular healthcare system. It's probably because we live in the US and it's just kind of the way that it goes. But this is your sign to go advocate and make sure that you are being taken care of.